The AI hype train is in full steam ahead, so let's check it out. Hello everybody, welcome to this month's .NET User Group. We're live here in Melbourne and we're doing a watch party in Brisbane and Sydney as well. So let's go through the tech news for this month. So we can have here a software engineering buddy from Cognition. His name's Devin. It's the first AI software engineer. It's got its own editor. It's very smart. It can actually, just like what we do, read a blog post, understand it, use that knowledge to go and write some software for us. It's pretty impressive. You can do quite a lot of things. There's a series of small videos here for you to check out. And it performs really, really well. Given some tasks from open source projects, Devin's actually gone and been able to complete 13.8% of those successfully, right? Compared to GPT-4, ChatGPT, we're quite familiar with those. They're like 1.7%. So it's a big difference here, right? Nowhere near 100% yet, but you can see it's a massive increase from what we had before. Claude 2 was the closest competitor, and actually, not to spoil anything, but Claude 3 is out now. So we'll see what this benchmark says when they rerun it with Claude 3. But here's a short little video, just quickly show you what Devin looks like. Like I said, it's got its own IDE, everything. You've got a way for you to interact with Devin, and it goes and does a lot of work for you.
Hey, I'm Scott from Cognition AI, and today I'm really excited to introduce you to Devin, the first AI software engineer. Let me show you an example of Devin in action.
You can see here, it's basically reading some documentation. Here's a sort of a view of its browser that it has, its own editor, and the way for us to talk to Devin to guide it towards what we want to do. And it goes ahead and writes code, and eventually we've got a working app, and then they're talking about the performance figures again. So it's not fully available yet. You can go and get in contact if you want to try it out. But yeah, hopefully soon it'll be open to everyone to use, and totally awesome piece of tech. Again, on the AI side, we've got Stable Diffusion version 3. So big problem with the image generation that we've had is can't spell. the words or the letters look a little bit weird. But Stable Diffusion version 3 has gone and improved that tremendously. You can see here, that looks properly well done, right? And it's just multiple subjects that it can track and generate for you. It's much, much smarter than the previous versions. And it also will be available soon, I think, and there's going to be a free version as well. So next up, in the dev world, .NET 9 Preview 1 was released a little while ago, but we also have Preview 2 released very recently as well. So in a short period of time, we had two previews from .NET 9 come out. And sort of from Preview 1, there's a whole lot of stuff around improvements to JSON and the collections, the JIT compiler, and gearing up for much more cloud-native development in .NET 9. So shrinking the containers and the size of the runtimes and SDKs. It's a massive impact on startup times for our cloud apps. Quicker scale out, all that kind of benefits. So it's pretty awesome. Preview 2, bit more of the same. Enhancements on the JIT engine, ARM64 vectorization, so just speed, right? Everything's much, much better. Parallel testing, and a whole bunch of improvements to .NET, EF Core, MAUI, and ASP.NET as well. So where we stand in terms of the overall .NET 9 roadmap, we can see a lot of the effort for .NET 9 is going to actually be focused on Blazor. A little bit on minimal APIs again, but mainly around Blazor, which is great. So Blazor 8 or .NET 8 now, a lot of cool new rendering modes, a few new problems, and they're going to address those with .NET 9. And you can see one of my favorite ones so far, which was in Preview 2, is they're going to bring constructor injection with, where's the code sample? There was a code sample. Normally you use the inject attribute to inject the dependency into your component. Now you can do that with the constructor injection, which we're very, very familiar with everywhere else, basically. There's a code snippet there somewhere for you to look at, but Yeah. So moving from cloud to cloud, if you have a lot of data, can be quite expensive. So initially Google and then AWS followed by not charging for egress traffic. Everyone up until now, they don't charge you for ingress into the cloud. So you're uploading data into AWS, GCP, Azure, that's free. When you want to egress, you want to take all your data out from that cloud to go somewhere else, you'd have to pay for it. So AWS and Google made that free, and Microsoft has done that as well. Just a couple of caveats there. You have to be an existing customer and completely move out from Azure to wherever you go. And then you have to sort of kill your subscription completely. It's not to just get free transfers. If you want to go out of Azure, not that you ever would want to, because it's the nicest, bestest cloud there is. But yeah, if you ever wanted to go out, then you have to be out completely. So there's a bit of a story there, but we'll see how that goes over time. In the realm of gaming, so Epic Games and Apple, there's a bit of a battle going on. Some flip-flopping on the decisions to, especially in the EU, for not violating the Apple ecosystem for games or apps. They allowed Epic to host their games outside of the Apple Store, but then they went and revoked their license to do that again anyway. So they've got all sort of their developer license. So it's a bit of a problem here. Two massive giants in the industry trying to find a way to make this work, but hopefully they find something, because massive amount of people want to use or play the games from Epic. But then if they can't host it on the iOS devices, a lot of people will be missing out. So yeah, hopefully they can sort that out too. Again, back on AI, so Jensen just announced a massive GPU, the new series of GPUs, Blackwell, all right? So these GPUs are now 4 times more powerful at training than the previous or the current Hopper series. And I think something like 30 times more powerful doing the inference work as well. So you can see roughly there's the new size of the GPU, there's the current one. It's a big, big increase. And you can see some other, a whole bunch of information about that. But I think the cost is also extremely high, but it's worth it. They're even far more efficient than the current generation of chips. So definitely more power to the AI is coming. So xAI or Xai, however you want to say it, they open sourced Grok. So that's their equivalent of ChatGPT, etc., Gemini, all that. So Elon's gone and completely open sourced this, and performance-wise, it's really fast compared to the others. Apparently, it's not that funny yet. They're not that super useful based on some of people's attempts, but it's fully open. All right, so you can actually find it on GitHub. There it is. Okay. So you can go and check out the code, everything in it. I think the only thing you don't get is all the data, obviously. That's a huge amount of data. But the code's there. The weightings and all the stuff they use for their neural networks, all the stuff, that's there for you to check out and understand how it all works. That's a big part of responsible AI and all the things. More AI, Claude from Anthropic. So I believe Anthropic was started from OpenAI employees, and they've created Claude, which is a new language model. And what they've done with Claude 3 is to release sort of new, sort of like a scalable model, right? So you can choose between the level of intelligence versus the cost and performance, right? So at the one end, you got the slightly less intelligent Haiku model, quite cheap, but you want the Sonnet or Opus models. They're much more intelligent, but they cost a lot more too. So you can use this to right size the model you use for your application. You don't always need Opus to answer basic questions, right? So it's a great way of fine-tuning what your application needs in terms of AI. And everyone might remember Sam Altman, a bit of a kerfuffle a while ago, got booted out of OpenAI. Then, he nearly got hired by Microsoft, but then he went back to OpenAI. So there was a bit of an investigation, and they basically said it wasn't necessary to remove him. Not all the details were revealed from the investigation, but that might come out soon. But yeah, he's back, and it's everything's going full steam ahead. Then Elon decides to go and sue OpenAI purely for not being open and running it as a for-profit organization. The whole reason they started OpenAI is that it's open to the world and it should be non-profit. So he's gone and put a big lawsuit against them. There's a lot of details, and they've gone and published all the sort of correspondence between them and Elon for quite some time that sort of shows a bit of mixed messages, right? So yeah, it's an interesting story to keep track of. I guess Elon's beef is, they didn't make it open, so he went and made Grok open to the world. To better humanity is really the thing he's after. I guess he may have changed his mind from making it non-profit to for-profit, because otherwise, well, you can't make it. You just can't build AI without no money. Then back into the dev world, we visited DDD Melbourne on the weekend. It was a great event. Roughly 600 people was there. It was in the breaks, complete chaos. Me and Penny, we went there, and our booth was swamped. All our swag disappeared from people claiming them via using our rewards app. It's a cool little app to use for engagement at these events. But yeah, it's a great community event. Had a lot of fun. They announced the date for 2025 already. So yeah, if you hear about tickets going on sale next year, grab one straight away because they sell super fast. Then, a bit of internal news. We have released our Clean Architecture 2024 template on GitHub, and what we've done as well is to build 2 courses around it. So you've got a 1-day superpowers course or a 2-day hands-on workshop. So you've got some details here on the screen. Here's the GitHub template as well, so you can use this code for yourself to bootstrap your apps. We use it definitely to start our projects, our client projects. It gives us a lot of stuff that we think helps make a good project, not just the clean architecture, but all the other quality of life improvements. You can go through this quite a lot in there. You might be familiar with most of it, but we've added some fancy new things as well. It's very easy to get started, so you can install the .NET template and get started super quick. So you just go .NET new SSW-CA, there's your project. And we've also got some other shortcuts for adding more commands and queries from the command line. And yeah, it is super easy to use. And yeah, if you want to contribute, it's open source. Go and create issues, add stars. Please star the repo. So we just released it. So yeah, happily for everyone to get involved and give us some feedback. Here's the Superpowers tour where Daniel and Luke, it's all about clean architecture for the day. And we use that template plus a few extra bits to really go from the basics to a nice and advanced application with clean architecture. So Daniel and Luke, both from Brisbane, but they'll be touring the country delivering this course, which is coming up in not long from now, in May. The 20th of May is the start of the series. Then there's also the 2-day version, is way more hands-on, and that's starting in June. Yeah, that's it, everybody. Hope you enjoy the night, and I'll see you next time.